Okay, so I've been thinking about something that I've been nervous to talk about, largely because I don't fully have an answer yet. So this might and probably will come out a little messy. But I feel like I exist in this weird space where I really care about what's going on in the world, like radically so. My whole career is centered around advocacy and speaking up for people that don't have the same access to human rights that people in my part of the world have access to. And also, I really like nice things. I really, really, really like nice things. I like when my life feels good. I like beauty. I like new experiences. I like things that are done well. And to even mention this opinion is privilege. I totally lucked out with the geographical lotto. At the same time, I really don't hear people in the environmental space talk about that intersection enough, or honestly, and I think it should be had more so that people who are stuck in this luxurious space can be a part of it. You will even hear people talk about how sometimes it's okay to just indulge, and that's fair. I agree. And also, how many times can you say that before you become a part of the problem? Because it's like, if you care, you're supposed to detach from all of that. And if you don't detach, then maybe you don't care enough. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's real. Okay, so let's start here. I grew up in the Bahamas. My community, my home, the house that I grew up in was devastated by Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and by hurricanes before that and by hurricanes after that. My family had to recover from that. I was hands-on involved in cleaning up an oil spill that happened because of what was an ugly storm. So I know what environmental damage looks like on the front lines when it's not something you're reposting. This is not something that's foreign to me. I've been on the front lines of climate change. And at the same time, I know a lot of the things that I enjoy, the clothes, the trips, even certain foods. These things don't just appear. A lot has to happen for me to get the things that I like, not just for them to show up, not just for them to appear, but for them to appear conveniently. There's labor behind them, there are supply chains behind them, and there are places where things are overproduced, where people are underpaid, where materials are being extracted from places where they deserve to remain, where land and oceans are being polluted so that other people can experience them as effortless, as convenient, where they can order something from halfway across the world and see it in the next 24 to 48 hours. And the gag is, the thing is, it feels good. And the people who existed in my bloodline before me fought really hard for me to be able to experience the same blessings that people who exist higher on the social hierarchy get to experience. But that being said, once again, to what extent is it okay to experience those things before you're a part of the problem? I don't think the solution is to not think about it. I don't think that feels honest. I also don't think pretending that I don't want parts of that life is honest. So I've been trying to figure out what it looks like to live in the middle of that. Not perfectly, not in a way that makes me feel or seem morally superior, because that's not the goal either. More intentional, um, being local instead of thinking of the first international or like faraway place that I can order the things that I need. Just aware, like asking questions. Where did this come from? Who made it? Why is it this cheap? Why is it this accessible? How long will it last me if I buy it from this place? Did this company donate to any campaigns that I do not approve of? It's even affected certain brand deals that I should have already had, but I had to decline because I had to ask myself, do I really want to promote this brand? No, because it doesn't stand with my values. And sometimes I still choose to think that I'm not supposed to anyways. I'll admit it, because of where my budget is or because of what my immediate priority is, how much it'll affect my community if I do or don't have this thing. But at least now I know what I'm choosing into. Look, I don't know. I just feel like there has to be a space for people who care and still want a life that feels soft and beautiful. And it's not gonna look clean. It's gonna look a little contradictory. But this entire world is a gray space. Everything that matters in this world has to be analyzed because that is the world we live in. No one person is linear, and you have to account for imperfection. Human nature is to be imperfect. It's contradictory, but that feels more real than pretending one side doesn't exist. Um, Anyways, I've been thinking about that, and I don't think I'm okay with just staying there, just calling it a contradiction and moving on. Once I started paying attention, it actually got harder to move the exact same way without thinking twice. Like I said, it's impacted brand deals that I should have already had by now. And sometimes it makes me feel like I'm moving really slow as a content creator. And I also don't want to be unrealistic and say that there's certain things that I don't still use. I'm just not as unconscious as I used to be. I can feel the difference now, even in the small choices, even in the things I still decide to do anyways. And it's not that everything is gonna change overnight. It's just that it doesn't feel neutral anymore. You don't just get to notice things and have it mean nothing. Yeah,